Oh, the good life, full of fun, seems to be the ideal.
Hello everyone, it's Mike Mixon from Keyboardamerica.com and .co here in Lewis Beach, Delaware, and this is a Genos tutorial video on how to get a fade in and fade out because the Genos doesn't have a dedicated fade in and fade out button like the Tyros does. You use your rotary button. Now I'm going to be covering everything so you completely understand this. So let's start out with the rotary button, and we're going to get a close-up of all this, so hang in there for a second, okay? So the rotary button comes from the Hammond B3 organ. Now, I think it's important that you know about this because a lot of you don't out there. There's some famous organs over the years, and for instance, Wurlitzer had the mighty Wurlitzer, and Kahn had a beautiful theater organ. Worcy has a beautiful organ, and of course Hammond B3, made in the late 50s. They're still very popular today, and you can see a B3 when you watch the Country Music Awards, or if you've ever watched the Blues Brothers or Clint Eastwood's Jersey Boys. That's a Hammond B3 organ. Now that organ did not have a speaker in it. You had to purchase a speaker separately, and it was about this wide, and it was a good almost 3.5, 4 feet tall, and the speaker actually spun. Now that's called a Leslie speaker. Now they don't call it a Leslie speaker in the Genos or the Tyros, they call it a rotary. Reason? Quite simple, they'd probably have to pay Hammond the royalties on using the word Leslie speaker. But the speaker actually spun, and it gave the B3 a very unique sound. And the B3, of course, was not really electronic with diodes and resistors and things like that. It was a motor. It was a tone generator is what they called it. And so they're all still working today. They're almost indestructible. And a lot of the black churches use them, and of course, like I said earlier, they're used in blues, and I mean, just a very popular organ. So we're going to teach you how to use that rotary button to change that to your fade in and fade out. Now you're going to say, well, how do I get my rotary? Well, multiple ways to do that, and I'm going to show you that too. And of course, you want to have that programmed into your Genos or your Tyros in your registration memory. So I'm going to cover that too. Now, with this video, you should also go to our Genos Tyros video lessons page and watch the video on the assignable buttons on the Genos. That's really important. That'll give you a total understanding of how to program this into your registration memories as well. So we're going to take a look real quick at the rotary button. Now, the Genos has multiple pedal units you can put on it, and of course you get all that in the bundle. If you purchased your Genos from me, this video, you don't have to watch it if you don't want to, because I've got that all programmed on my USB stick that you get with the Genos. But we're going to look at it. So you can use one of your pedals to turn the Leslie from fast to slow, and that's how a Leslie worked. It's a great sound. Also, there's a great sound called Hold It Fast in your Tyros and your Genos, and on the Genos it's under Legacy, and you hear me use that a lot because if you just strike the key normally, the Leslie's on slow. When you hold it, the Leslie kicks on fast, and that's why it's called Hold It Fast. So let's take a look real quick at the rotary button, and you'll get a complete understanding of what we do. Okay, so here's the Hold It Fast organ, And if I just play it quickly, you can hear that thing speed up. Now that is a custom organ sound, but if I go into my organs here and I just use this jazz rotary, you can see you can get the same thing by pushing your modulation wheel up. So you don't really need this button, rotary assignable, for the Leslie speed. And like I said earlier, you can just assign one of your pedals. If you play a lot of organ, you can assign one of your pedals to turn that Leslie fast and slow. Okay, so I'm going to hit direct access and rotary assignable. Right here at the bottom of the screen, if I touch that, it would have been on rotary, organ rotary, slow and fast. That's where it would default to. Just put it on fade in and out and close, and you're finished. Now, if you're using it for a particular song, like I am, you want to store that in your registration memory for that song. So this week's song that I'm doing is Big Girls Don't Cry, as you can see there. I have it programmed into number 7, so I only programmed that into number 7. Now I use a lot of organ, so I have programmed it in almost all of my registration memories. But you don't have to. You can do it individually if you want. But like I said, I mean, you can use your pedal, which is much better to turn your Leslie fast to slow, or you can raise the modulation button here. Okay, now I'm going to put this into action for you. If you have a Genos or a Tyros, go into R&B and hit on 6/8 Soul Ballad. You are going to hear this Leslie speaker going slow and fast, built right into the intro. This is an incredible style, and listen to the intro. You can hear that slowing down and speeding up. The artist did a great job on that intro 3. And you might say, well, geez, what kind of song can I play with that? So I've got mine. Let's see. I have got mine right here, Always and Forever. I have that programmed into my number 4 with my OTS on. And Always and Forever is one of the most popular tunes ever, and especially with weddings. But just listen to how gorgeous this left-hand accompaniment is. Okay, now I went to registration 8, Big Girls Don't Cry, and I've got my fade out assigned right here on my Assignable, so when I end the song, it fades right out. Now, I'm going to be fading it out with the right chord, so and there you go on the fade out. Okay, so now you see how to assign your fade out. This is a good complete video. My next tutorial video is going to be on the organs, and I hope that my explanation of the organ in the beginning was very important to you. And I'll tell you one thing, you know, a lot of times I'll get a customer that says, wow, you know, $5,500 is a lot of money, but this thing really sounds great on the YouTube videos. And when they have it a week, they get it home and they realize that just in the organs, they've got hundreds of thousands of dollars of organs built into the Genos and the Tyros and all the saxes and the instruments that are in there. They call me back and say, you know what, this thing was cheap, because you realize the value of the Genos and of course its predecessor, the Tyros. I mean, the sounds that are sampled in these machines are just incredible, and we will go over all the organs in the next video so you have a complete understanding, but the rotary speaker is important. Now, please remember, go to the Genos Tyros video lessons page on our website. That is a great place for you to start instead of YouTube. Put it in your favorites. You can see all my videos there, and it'll take you to the right video on YouTube a lot easier. And I want you to watch that Assignable button so you have a total understanding of how to set up your Genos right away so that you don't have to go back in all the banks and change all the settings in the banks and go through that again. So it's important to do that. Also, when you go to our Genos Tyros video lessons page, the more people that go there, the higher it gets bumped up in the rankings when you're searching on Google and things. So you're actually helping other customers find our website. And you know, we've been ranked #1 around the world in the tutorial website area. So it's important for everybody to be able to learn how to do things, and I keep it simple and try and explain things in great detail so you have a full understanding. So until next time, this is Mike Mixon from Keyboardamerica.com and .co here in beautiful Lewis Beach, Delaware. See you next week.